This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombernardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
You damn right. You guys know who Karen Tolkinen is? Did you say it Tolkinen? Is that how you say it?
I'm assuming that's not related at all to the J.R.R. Tolkien.
Tolkien. Is that Tolkien?
I thought it was just Tolkien. I'm not sure.
No, you've been Tolkien. That's what it is. Did we work that one in there? No, we're
not even planned, ladies and gentlemen.
I think it's Tolkien.
Have you guys ever worked a day with me when I planned anything? I'm not big on planning.
Every day here is very scripted.
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
No question about it. There's no getting around it. No, I just saw another story about this whole situation about people hating somebody else because of the way they're going to vote. Would you guys, you're of a different generation. Would you explain to me what one vote is going to do to your life? I mean, what the hell are you talking about?
Not much. And I guess, are we surprised? When's the last time an election was 100% the entire country voted for the same person?
Exactly.
Why are we acting surprised when somebody votes for somebody else?
That's a very good point. We've never gotten to 100% of the vote. So why don't you calm down, for Christ's sake?
I'd be more upset at the people that write Mickey Mouse on the ballot than I would at least vote for a candidate that's got a chance of winning, not, Donald Duck.
Donald Duck could never win. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I guess maybe if he puts in a good campaign and
he's been, I don't think he's ever lived in the United States for long enough to actually make that work either.
Who, Donald Duck?
Yeah, I think he lives in Barbados quite a bit.
Listen to you. What, have you been talking to Catherine?
Yes.
All of a sudden, honest God, my wife say we should go on 8 vacations next year. I'm like, what? The hell are you talking? Yeah, she wants to go. One of the places she wants to go is Barbados because we've never been there.
I hear it's nice.
Is it? Supposed to be a nice joint.
I mean, I've never heard anything bad about it.
Yeah,
no, that's true.
I've never heard somebody come back from Barbados and say, boy, I had a terrible time. It's usually the exact opposite of that. So,
but remember, for a long while, you guys wouldn't remember this. Why am I saying that? Because Acapulco was supposed to be this wonderful vacation spot. Turned out to be like Murder Incorporated, for Christ's sake.
Not the restaurant, right?
Which one?
Acapulco.
Oh, no. Not the restaurant. Definitely not the restaurant. Absolutely not.
I mean, I don't want to side with Catherine, but Barbados looks amazing. You should definitely.
Good. Thanks.
You should definitely take her.
Why don't you call her right now?
Yeah,
hey, Catherine, I saw it's only going to be about $85 billion, so that'll be good,
Yeah, but it's worth it from what I can see.
I know in July we're going to England. That I know because she's had that plan for a long time. You guys ever been to England?
No, but I would like to at some point.
You got to go.
I know phenomenal. It's not it's not a Barbados where you're going to go sit with your feet in the sand and soak in the rays, but I don't know. I think London would be a very fun place to kind of explore around and see the sights and, attend some events and stuff.
Take a picture next to those guys that stand guard and can't move or smile.
Try to make them laugh. Yeah.
They can't even react at all. That's true. Yeah, you're right.
See if I can get one of them fired.
Just have some bad fish and chips and let one rip.
You just gave me a wonderful memory. The Tower of London. When you got to go to all that stuff because it's really cool.
Okay.
Westminster Abbey and the Tower of London, all that stuff. So the family, Andy at the time is, I think, probably 12, 13 years old, something like that. Alex is 11. So we're going through the Tower of London, looking at all this stuff, the full suits of armor. It's really, really cool stuff. And all of a sudden, Andy disappears behind one of these suits of armor. I'm like, oh, okay. So he comes back out and we're walking along. I said, why did you go behind that suit of armor? He goes, I had to fart. Oh, okay. So you go hide behind the knight fully armored? Is that what we did? It's going to waft anyway.
He had to armor up.
He had to armor up, baby.
I like it.
That is such an Andy thing to do, though. Oh, my God. You guys have gotten to know Andy pretty well.
So it's also very polite of him at a young age.
No, absolutely.
I'm going to go over here instead of just crop dust the entire Tower of London.
I'm in the middle of a group. Nobody's going to know. No, I'll step off to the side like a gentleman.
Oh, I've had somebody do that. Nobody's going to know who laid down the bunt, but you could kind of tell by body language, can't you?
Yeah. Yep.
I would think so. Anyway, I was just looking at this story in the Minnesota Star Tribune this morning. Tolkien, internet piles on Crow Wing County Trump fan, but they don't know if that's really why they piled on him. because some of the people who go to Big Al's Bar and Grill in Emily, how's that go again? You got to go to Emily to get to Reamer, or what is that thing again?
I'm not sure.
There are like 4 towns in a row that if you put them together, it sounds filthy.
Oh, okay.
What is that again?
I'm not sure. This is news to me.
Oh, you haven't heard of it?
No.
Because Reamer apparently is north of Emily, but there are 1 or 2 other towns you got to go through. I used to know it. Because I used to love to say it all the time, but I can't remember what the whole thing is. But that's going to be a bitch to look up, isn't it?
Oh yeah, we'll have to see if we can make a dirty joke out of the towns around Reamer.
It's Reamer, Emily. You got to go to Emily, or you got to go through Emily to get to Reamer. I know that's the last part, but I can't remember the first part. Somebody's got to know. I would think.
I think so. I've never heard this one there.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's kind of old Minnesota kind of deal. See, you guys, I was around for the very end because they were all World War II veterans and all the rest of it. I was around for the very end of that old Minnesota way to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Like saying things like, oh, yeah, here you betcha.
Don't you know?
Don't you know? Yeah, that you don't hear that stuff anymore at all.
No.
I mean, at least I don't. But back when I was a kid, you heard it all the time. That's how much society changes. They even change the way they speak.
Yeah, I feel like they've all been shamed out of using the same, or like the language that they're comfortable using.
My favorite is still how you can mispronounce N-O. No. That's what is no? What I don't even know what that is. It's supposed to be no. No. I wonder why they speak in the back of their throat. Because there are reasons that people speak the way they do.
Well, it's interesting with that, and I know the other fun one to make jokes about is Australians with no, but it's nar.
Nar, yeah.
Nar. It's N-A-U-R for some reason.
How?
I don't know.
Nar.
I don't nar.
I don't know. Well, let's get. Hey, what the hell is the Brad Blanksman anyway? That pain in the ass. Do you ever talk to him?
I talked to him a little while ago, but he didn't have anything he felt worth coming on for.
Oh, so he's worthless now.
Yeah, he's like, don't have any interviews, blah, 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 but we'll see if we can goad him into coming on. I'll reach out to him again.
No, he's such a good guy. Brad Blanks is a really, really good guy. But it's also fun to watch because we were in a convertible going through North Minneapolis. Watch a guy who's 6'6" be terrified. It was like, Tom, let's get out of here, Tom. I said, settle down. I got this. Don't worry about a thing. We're watching drug deals and arguments and fist fights. The fist fight, guess where that was?
Where?
Okay, so it was on Plymouth Avenue, and you can go from Lyndale to Penn. It was somewhere between Lyndale and Penn on Plymouth Avenue. Where was the fist fight?
Probably in the middle of the street.
Middle of the street. Which corner? It's Plymouth and.
I have no idea.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Plymouth and Emerson. You know why?
Why is that?
That's where the liquor store is.
There you go. There you go.
There's a liquor store right there on the corner. It used to be an Erickson's gas station when I was a kid. You remember Erickson? They're now Holiday gas stations. I think most of them became Holidays in any case. But yeah, this guy, apparently owner of Big Al's Bar and Grill in Emily, Minnesota, says his Trump sign has cost him big business, but did it because apparently I can't read the whole article because it's a long article, but I'll try to find a couple of quotes in here. It says, maybe if Alan Brenn's, I think it's Brenn's, maybe if Alan Brenn's hadn't posted a Trump Vance 2024 sign out his Crow Wing County restaurant. Is Crow Wing County, is that where the Iron Range, is that on the Iron Range?
Let me look.
It's just south of the Land O'Lakes.
The Land O'Lakes, baby.
Up by like Cross Lake.
It's like Brainerd.
Yeah.
Oh, it is Brainerd.
Yeah.
But that's not on the Iron Range, is it? Brainerd's not, is it? Maybe it's part of it, but I don't know.
I would say no. I think the Iron Range usually gets up a little more north into like the Hibbing, Bemidji, Evelyn, Virginia area. This is like Nisswa, Crosby, Brainerd, kind of that upper central Minnesota.
Was that ever a union area when it was iron mining and all that? Was it? I don't know. I have no knowledge if that was a union area or whatever, because I would think that people that far north would be conservative anyway. They tend to be.
Yeah, this is like Leech Lake reservation-ish area.
I'll have to ask because my dad is from there, and I know my grandpa was a miner in Hibbing for a long time.
Oh,
in
really?
the open pit mine. Yeah. So I'll have to figure that one out.
So your dad and Kevin McHale come from the same town, Hibbing, Minnesota.
Cut from the same cloth.
Oh
Look at
my
us.
God,
Look at
really?
us.
You guys are going to say that. Let's say cut from the same cloth this morning. Where are we going to work it in? Good God. But yeah, the only reason I pointed out this story, once again, why would you give a rat's ass if you put up a Kamala sign, if you put up a Trump sign? Well, you like the food, you like to go there and drink with your buddies. Who cares? Crow Wing County is not going to win an election for either Trump or Kamala Harris. Relax, for Christ's sake. I literally have gotten to the point now because I comment on a couple of political stories. I have no interest in doing it anymore. There's no sense in it. No. People are going to see things the way they want to see it, and you are not going to change their mind. I just don't understand the hatred part of it. I really do not. Why you would hate someone because of who they voted for. What the hell is that?
Yeah, and as like a business, Big Al, you're alienating half your potential customers by putting one sign up versus another. Who cares? Just make a burger and some fries.
Yeah, but it's his restaurant. I guess it's not doing too well, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I have never put a political sign on any of my vehicles. Somebody did put one on one of my cars. I think it would, I'm not sure, but it was over at the old location, the old Q location on Highway 100. But I came out one morning, there's all these political stickers on my car. It's like, gee, thanks. Because those things are a bitch to get off, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that technically is vandalism.
I think
so.
Yeah,
there's no question about it. But I can't remember who the hell it was.
It's always funny to see when so if Trump loses or if Harris loses, and then everybody just leaves the stickers on because they can't get them off. And
Yep.
Yeah, that bet you feel dumb now driving around with Bernie Sanders stickers.
I guess
for
so.
Your car.
So my two favorites of the week, though, is we got Trump is bitching a lot about how it is kind of interesting. Two people, because the guy did poke the barrel of the rifle through the bushes, but he couldn't get off a clear shot, I guess, because of the Secret Service or whatever it is. So this guy goes through two things, and all he wants to talk about is how the other party's ruining his reputation, all that. And then my favorite quote of the week, though, just to have a little balance here. Look, I got nothing against Trump and I got nothing against Kamala Harris. Whoever wins, you're going to ruin my life anyway, because that's what you people do, these politicians. But I did love it when Kamala Harris said, and I quote, well, you have to understand the children of the community are the children of the community. What?
I mean, I guess technically she's not wrong. Also, the adults of the community are also the adults of the community.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
She didn't say anything about that, though.
Breaking news.
But I don't care. She does that. He does that. They're both, acting like nut jobs at times. This is your fault. No, this is your fault. The one thing I would say is let's not compare anybody to Hitler, shall we?
Right.
How many Jews did he kill? Like 16 million or something?
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit. He goes quite a bit. Yeah. I would say millions would be quite a bit.
Absolutely.
And again, that's a very personal thing to me. I'll be very honest, because when I was a little boy, there were lots of Jews in North Minneapolis that had the serial numbers imprinted into their arm skin. So, I had to find out why that. I was like, Mom, how come some of the older people got tattooed numbers on their arm? And she told me, because they were in concentration camps. So then I read up on concentration camps at the ripe old age of 6, which was a mistake. Jesus, I'm reading this like, what? Really? And of course, they had to show pictures of all the skeletons in the ravines and all that. It's like, let's not head down that road.
No.
Okay, we're in America. Everything's good. Nobody's Hitler. Everything's fine. Calm down. Right?
Absolutely.
You weren't. Oh, look at AJ won't agree with us now.
I was trying to give you a signal that I know I got lost track of time, so I know Judd's probably waiting for us to bring him
give
on
a
here.
rat's ass what that Nazi wants. Oh, that's right. I wasn't going to call him that. I forgot now. We'll take a break and be right back in a couple of minutes. Hi, Tom Barnard here for Livia Weight Control Centers. Your success story starts today. Join Livia's doctor recommended an award-winning nutrition program and get your first 8 weeks free. You could lose up to 20 pounds or more in your first 8 weeks. Plus, Livia offers weight loss medications to accelerate results. Receive personalized one-on-one guidance, plus expert nutrition and medical support. Livia is the destination for all the weight loss solutions. Trust me when I say this, Livia works. I weighed in this morning. It's interesting, too, because I went and lifted weights over at Lifetime in Minnetonka yesterday with an instructor. And when you lift, well, Devin, you and I were just talking about this. When you lift weights, you are going to hold on to a couple of pounds of weight. Not that it builds that much muscle immediately, but it gathers the fluids together to get that done, all the nutrients and all that stuff. But I was kind of surprised after lifting weights for like a full hour yesterday. I still lost about, I don't know, a pound or two this week, something like that. So if it did hold on to it, it didn't hold on to it for long, but it was one thing I got to tell you, which I really like. The guy, I'm working out with this guy. His name is Logan. Logan Hunter is his name. Good guy. So we're working out, we're doing all that stuff. And he goes, "How old are you?" I said, "I'll be 73 in November." He goes, "Really?" I said, "Don't try to suck up to me and tell me I look good for a 73-year-old. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Visit Livia.com. That's LIVEA.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Join Livia's nutrition plan today and get your first 8 weeks free. Plus, Livia Medical offers GLP-1 medications for accelerated results. Visit Livia.com or call 855-GO-LIVIA. Choose the trusted leader serving our communities for 15 years because Livia works.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they taught you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Ladies and gentlemen, beer, food, Vikings, and real life jousting. The only place you can find all these things together is the 2024 Minnesota Renaissance Festival, happening weekends now through September 29th, plus, of course, Labor Day, September 27th. Remember, only 2 weekends left of the Renaissance Festival. Had a great time. Went out there a couple of times. It was really a lot of fun. Although Crisco and Des were out there with Wes, so, wasn't that much fun. No, it was great. They were terrific. Located at the Renaissance Festival grounds in Shakopee, it's fun for the entire family as you venture around the grounds, finding amazing food and drinks, tons of different street acts, live music, and fully armored jousting. There's always something exciting going on. Like to live on the edge? Try your hand at axe throwing, shooting a crossbow, climbing a rock wall, or test your wits in an escape room. It's also perfect for kids of all ages, featuring a petting zoo, various rides and games, along with arts and crafts events. Plus, with over 250 artisans, I said artisans, you heard me, and shops around the festival, you may just find something that scratches your medieval itch. Visit renaissancefest.com now for discount tickets, parking passes, and all other information. The 2024 Minnesota Renaissance Festival, again, I remind you, only 2 weekends left, so you got to get out there. It is a great time, it really is. The 2024 Minnesota Renaissance Festival, visit renaissancefest.com today.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Okay, big shots. We got to get him on the air. He's got to have the full half hour. No hat?
No hat today.
Why?
I don't know.
You're showing off that
Hair
new
was
hair.
okay.
How dare you?
That new
I mean,
hair.
it's bedhead, but it's not the worst. So
It's not bad head. It looks good.
I just figured, what the heck? No hat. Some days it's a hat. Some days it's not. I like to mix it up.
So when the Twins really suck, then you don't wear a hat.
Yeah. How about that?
Jeez, what a terrible game that was.
Well, that's what happens when you don't make moves to solidify the bullpen. Like,
Yep.
I mean, they could have brought in Cole Sands. I think he had pitched 3 times in 4 days, but they did. But I mean, if you're begging for why didn't you pitch Cole Sands, you're screwed. So Rocco has had a terrible month. I'm not going to absolve him, but I got to be honest. The 2 losses in this Cleveland series are far more on what they didn't add than what the manager did in game.
No, the poll ads are responsible for most of this because they won't spend the money. Look, they've only got $6 billion. What are they supposed to do?
Oh, man, there's a lot of things about this year that would be very intriguing to get the behind the scenes on. I'm just afraid that with the TV deal up again, that depending on what takes place this offseason, that they're going to cut payroll again. I think it might come down more.
I just went to dinner with some friends last night. I don't know if he wants me to use his name or not, but we were just talking about this whole situation and the money part of it and the management part of it. And people are not very happy with this whole situation. You got all that money. And we both admitted, both the guys did, the women did not. Both guys admitted that if we had $6 billion, we'd probably be broke within about a year because I'd be pissing money away like a madman. No,
well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but my problem is this: you're coming off a playoff win last. You broke a 19-game playoff losing streak, the longest losing streak in North American professional
19-year,
sports.
not game. You said game.
Sorry,
year.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but you're coming off that streak, and you've got momentum, and you pitch it all away.
I know.
You cut payroll. You go back to you end up back on a network that goes off Comcast for 3+ whatever it was months. And now this this is just the baseball gods biting you in the ass because you deserve it. But that's the thing is, if you're a smart business person, there are times to make exceptions to keep the momentum going, because this is going to cost them in attendance now. They were projecting 2 million, I think, or plus. They're not going to hit that.
No.
They were, so, and I guarantee you that the momentum that they gained in season ticket sales last winter, there's going to be a bunch of people that drop those.
Oh, so, absolutely.
That's the thing is, this doesn't make a whole lot. I mean, I know it would have been some short-term pain, but you basically are shooting yourself in the foot. That's what gets me. You didn't have to be irresponsible. You had to be savvy. You had to be smart, and they weren't. And that ticks me off. And the other thing, though, and this is where Falvey and the front office gets blamed. They tried to sell, because they think we're all idiots. They gaslit us with, well, we tried to get these guys at the deadline, and basically it was all top flight guys, right?
Yep.
Who obviously are very expensive, and some of whom have contracts that the Twins don't want to pay going forward.
Mm-hmm.
But you're acting like that was the only guys who were eligible to be traded. You could have gotten help. Like a good reliever doesn't need to be a household name.
No, true.
You got Trevor Richards from Toronto. I don't know where he is now, but it sure as hell ain't here, and it shouldn't be. So this is what drives me crazy, is the entire thing is just a complete boondoggle. It's amateur, and it's silly.
Well, this is one of the reasons I like working with you, because you don't get emotional about sports.
No.
That's really a good thing. But
never.
Last night, that same dinner I was just talking about with friends, they said because of sporting events, and there was one other thing, I can't remember what it was, their streaming bill is $600 a month. It's like, what? Because what's it called again? DirecTV.
Mm-hmm.
That's like $100 a month to watch the Twins.
It is?
That's what I heard.
I mean, I pay my full Comcast package is like $320 a month, which is a ton.
$320 a month.
But that's Comcast cable, internet. Now it's still too much, but then they also put Bally's on a sports package now.
Right.
Now I got that before, so I'm not paying more. But like if you didn't, but this is where the thing is. Here's my question. At the end of the day now, does cutting the cord really save you a ton if you want to watch everything?
Yeah, it's not going to save you anything.
That's my question.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It is what it is. I think it's for people of my generation saying, all this used to be free. All of it. Movies were free on television. Sporting events were free on everything was free. And now it's $350 to $600 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus, Palomino.
Although I will say this, a top 5 day in my entire life was, I think it was June of '82 when the cable people came.
Oh, yeah.
And plugged in the television. And the first thing was a Cubs Pirates game.
There you go.
Changed me forever.
That's so funny because we moved to a farm in Dayton, Minnesota. We bought a farm out there. And what was it? Midwest Sports? Was that the name of it? Something? It was a
Midwest Sports Channel.
Midwest Sports Channel, yeah.
MSC, which is the first. Yep.
They came to my house and put a huge antenna on top of the farmhouse so I could watch the Twins games. How cool was that?
Oh, that's awesome. That's
it was
awesome.
Wonderful.
The best is if you recall in the 80s, Tom, the North Stars and Twins were in on a joint venture TV called Spectrum Sports.
Oh yeah, sure.
And it was it was cable had come around, but it wasn't mainstream. So it was on channel 23 on your TV, but you had to get a descrambler.
Yes, right.
And so the Twins and it was not a network. Like it would just show the game and then go dark, right? Like it didn't have programming constantly. But the best part is it would be Twins or North Stars, let's say starting at 7, and then post game, Spectrum After Dark.
Really? Who was on that?
A lot of good porn.
Oh, you mean it's porn? I thought you were talking about like Sid Hartman.
No, Spectrum After Dark porn. And as a kid, I'm going to tell you right now, I would sit there and watch the squiggly lines just to see if it like cleared up for a second.
Did it?
Yeah, once in a while. Not much. Like you could make out like a foot here, an arm there. But yeah, so it was a combination of Twins, North Stars, and softcore porn.
Well, it's softcore though. It wasn't the hard stuff.
I don't think we allowed hardcore in Minnesota. I want to say like DirecTV. I don't know why I know this, but I do. DirecTV in California had hardcore.
Yeah, right.
And like here, I think that they didn't. So I think they're look. I'm well versed on sports and how television porn works. Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Thank you.
I understand completely what the situation. It was. I still wonder what it is with these guys. Like if I were Pee Wee Herman, I would not have gone into a porn theater and whacked off.
No.
Why would you do that? I mean, you can watch porn at home if that's what you want to do.
You're Pee Wee Herman.
I know.
Not only could you watch it at home, like you could. You're rich.
Hey kids, I got my schwanz hanging out. What do you think?
Yeah, great, wonderful.
Now, did they call on him? Like, did the theater people call, or I've always been curious now in retrospect. How did Pee Wee get busted?
I don't. Apparently, he was making a lot of noise, and I have no idea how it happened. But I can't.
Don't laugh, you guys. It's true. It's very. This guy was very important to kids.
Just
Paul
the way
Rubens,
that
damn it.
make a lot of noise.
I did love Pee Wee's Playhouse. That was a good show, though. Got to be honest with you.
Yeah,
what I loved about it is like there would be a carton sitting on the table, and all of a sudden it would talk and go, "Okay, Milky, really? Everything's Milky, tea, coffee. Oh, okay, whatever."
Yeah, but
I
you're
love
right.
it. We had him on the show a couple of times. He was an interesting fellow, I will tell you that. He quite an interesting guy.
I bet he was. I bet he was a very interesting guy.
No question about it. So we're going to avoid talking about baseball, which I hope we continue to do, because isn't that 2 out of 3 games? Now they lost 2 out of 3 games. They had a big lead going into the final innings, or yesterday was the
10th.
The 10th inning.
They took a 2-run lead
and then lost the game because they gave up 3 runs.
And 2 nights ago, they puked up the lead in the 9th.
Yeah. So exactly what you're saying.
No, 8th. I'm sorry, 8th.
The 8th. But it's exactly what you're saying. They literally gave away their bullpen. They thought they had it covered. So why did they think they had the bullpen fully covered? They had one good pitcher in the bullpen.
Yeah, they had a couple at the back end, but the front end it needed to be strengthened. We could see that. Now it's worse than I thought it was. Like I thought that they had more depth than they actually do.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know why they didn't go and get reinforcements that weren't, well, if we couldn't get this guy who could have won the Cy Young, what were we going to do? Well, go get somebody who's just going to give you more. They needed another starter. This was right before the trade deadline, I think, was about 4 days before Joe Ryan got hurt, okay? But they needed another starter just for depth because they're trying to run these kids out. And Zebby pitched great a couple of days ago, but that's what's going to happen, right? It's going to be up and down, and you don't know what you're going to get. So, and it's not fair to count on them, like to have them be, oh, you got to be the third guy. I mean, they just totally blew the whole thing. Like there's no other way. They've blown the entire thing. It's a masterclass in how not to manage the business. It's a masterclass in how not to manage the roster. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, it's just, I can see why people like your friend are just checked out.
Bring back Andy McPhail. What about
Oh, God, he was fantastic.
I loved Andy. Good guy. That whole era. TK, you had TK. I mean, what's better? I still love the fact I was listening to the Sid Hartman call-in show on WCCO radio. He would interview Tom Kelly every Sunday. And I used to listen to it all the time because it was a great show.
Yeah.
But a guy called in and he said, TK, I got to ask you a question. I can answer all your problems. And I don't understand why you haven't already done this. It was right there in front of your face. You should go sign Tom Barnard. And there was this long pause, and all of a sudden you heard, what the hell?
And Sid was probably, listen, sir.
So that's got to be a joke, isn't it?
Anyway,
the guy tells him to sign me. Yeah, there's a good idea. That'll bring us home.
Unbelievable. Hey, boys, I got to run because my partner in crime is waiting for me to record a Viking show, actually.
I don't care about your Viking show. Who gives
But you care about Mackie.
Oh, that's right. I care about Phil.
Because he's going to join you tomorrow, so you don't want to piss him off because then who knows?
Hey, by the way, Phil, I know you're listening. Bring home a winner, damn it. It's your fault.
He let you down last time.
He did. It's true.
Tigers half game back. Half game back.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's not going to end well for the Twins.
No,
you know what? Go Tigers at this point. They dumped at the deadline. They traded away guys at the deadline.
I got to go, and then he doesn't shut up.
I'm still pissed off. Sorry, guys.
All
right.
Don't worry about our feelings.
I'll talk to you on Tuesday. Bye.
Tuesday, pal. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's Tom for Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Memory Care Facilities are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity, which is very important, obviously. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is the place I highly recommend. Wellshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team that's always staffed within the building, and that is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They've never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Wellshire of Medina is now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally. They are a family-owned local company, conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They're the best staff memory care facility in the state. Wellshire has a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. Set up a tour or learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, well, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Mike Lindell and My Pillow employees want to thank listeners, all of you, for your continued support. When Mike started My Pillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, they now have hundreds of products. Some you may not even know about, as a matter of fact. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towels are just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25 too. So check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. You're looking for a good night's sleep? We all are. Damn, you know it. Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. And please do use promo code TOM.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. What's happening, homie?
Nothing. How are you?
Simply marvelous. That's all I have to say. This morning I'm getting ready, brushing my teeth already. So I turned on the TV, and by the time I turned off the TV, I was deeply depressed because everybody hates everybody else. So that's good news.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, you can't explain it any other way. These people,
not everybody, but
no, not everybody, but 99.9%. You're right. But I was looking at this story this morning about this guy up in Crow Wing County, Minnesota's got a bar, and he put up a Trump sign, and he says it's driving business away like there's no tomorrow. And then some of the people said, no, that's not why he drove business away. He's a prick. They didn't use those words, but they said apparently he's really grumpy with his customers. That's what they claim in the article anyway. I don't know. I've never been there.
Here's your burger, you prick.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like places like that. Sometimes it's good to not, at least you know where the person's coming from, right?
Well, it's funny too because they do it on purpose. There's no question about that. Whatever. So what's in the news this morning, Pally?
There was a fire last night in Maple Grove.
Really?
We had a reporter out there this morning. I don't know for sure about injuries or fatalities, but I do know the medical examiner was there. And generally when the medical examiner comes out to a fire, they're investigating. So that's something we'll keep tabs on as soon as we find out more information about that. So obviously there was the big second day of those explosive devices going off with the Hezbollah terrorists, and that story continues to be, to me, the most insane thing. Somebody should make a movie about that someday. Like, the whole thing is just crazy to me.
So you didn't get my message. I left a message that said, don't bring up pagers because as a September bonus, I gave one to Tevin and AJ. And now it's ruined. Now they'll never use
weird.
it.
Mine's going off right
now. My pager's going off.
Insane. Right. It's absolutely insane.
I know.
What it would take to make all that happen. And it's crazy. Tevin, what are you going to say?
Well, and I'm just surprised that there's still a company out there making pagers. Like who's the market? Obviously, I guess terrorists, but yeah, like the fact that there's still a company out there that's making.
I think some doctors still carry pagers.
Oh, okay.
Really?
That would make sense.
I think so.
I think more as like hey, you're needed in this wing, or we need you to come back here because there's an emergency type thing. Yeah, maybe not as much I'm at home and hey, dude, text me, Jason.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
hit me up.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird to think about, like, having pagers? What a weird thing that is. Now, it wasn't dumb, but it seems so weird and ancient.
I had a pager for about 1 week and it never went off. So I just got rid of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I never got any messages on my pager. So I was like, oh, apparently I don't need this.
None of the ladies were sliding you their digits.
Yeah. On a pager. Yeah. That was a great idea. He's got a pager. Get away from
let me get to a phone and call you.
Yeah, the dial phone. Oh, God. Unbelievable.
What else did we have? They arrested a Chaska kid for making a bunch of threats at some schools. As it turned out, they didn't think that he had any ability to carry them out, but there were some threats that were made at some schools. There was a really bad, this one's over in Chippewa Falls. Hay wagon turned over and like injured a bunch of people yesterday, including like little kids, and some people like hurt pretty bad.
babies.
Yeah, it sucks. It was a church group, kindergartners from Eau Claire, and fall time and go out and do one of those hay rides, and so there were no shortage of stuff going on yesterday. Actually,
Doesn't sound like it. That's the kind of thing you do before Halloween gets here. It's kind of the first indication that Halloween's right around the corner. Those hay rides and all that stuff.
Yep.
That's too bad. So they're okay, did you say, or were there some?
24 people hurt, 3 critically.
Oh, Jesus.
So we'll find out. We'll find out today. I'm guessing if more information comes out on the how extensive the injuries were. And then, I know everyone loves our airport. I don't know about you guys, but
best airport in the world, apparently.
I think it's so weird. The pride that people take in the airport here. It's the weirdest thing to be proud of.
Sometimes I just drive by just to admire.
Sure. Get a look at that structure. God damn, that's a nice airport. Kids, let's go out to the airport. Are we going somewhere? No. Let's just enjoy the airport. MSP has taken the top spot, according to JD Power.
Right.
We're back on top. We were out of first place for 1 year, but
I didn't know that. I thought we
turned it around and got back on top.
I think it was like Detroit unthroned them last year, but Chris, I saw this roll across my ticker, and I was like, if anybody cares about this the least, it's Chris Egert.
I don't know why it annoys me so much. I'm like, who cares? Freaking airport. Every airport's the same.
Oh,
it's all true, man.
What else do I got? Oh, you guys need to watch. You guys need to watch Chimp Crazy.
Chimp Crazy.
I know this is on like HBO or something, right?
Yes. It's a new documentary, kind of like deal a little bit like Tiger King, except it's with people who have chimpanzees. And it's this crazy look inside the chimpanzee exotic animal community. Dude, it's insanity. I highly recommend it.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't hear any takers.
I mean,
get a chimp in the house.
Yeah, I'm not having a chimpanzee as a pet. Well, that's like
definitely won't after you watch this.
What's the Netflix show where it's like Chimp Empire or something that, and they follow?
Is that a Boardwalk Empire spinoff?
No, they follow these 2 chimp communities that are like rival gangs out in the jungle. And chimpanzees are.
It's definitely not that, but it's you do get a look at how intelligent they are, even if they're in captivity. But then on the other hand, how things can go horrifyingly wrong. I don't know if you guys remember a number of years ago, there was a lady who had one in her house and it like ripped her face off. And,
yes, I do remember.
And at some point, kind of the takeaway from the series is they're like really cute and smart, and people who are around them they just fall in love with them because they're mesmerizing, because they're so human-like. But at some point, as they get older, they weren't meant to be around humans, and they certainly weren't meant to be locked up. And it's crazy. I recommend it.
What's it called? Crazy Monkey?
Chimp Crazy.
Chimp Crazy.
But Bad Monkey on Apple TV is also really good. That's got show. Vince Vaughn.
Yep.
And that's based on a Carl Hyacin novel called Bad Monkey. If you ever read Carl Hyacin, he's a great author. All his books are set in South Florida, so they have all these crazy Florida storylines. That's really good too.
Yeah, he is a good writer. There's no question about that.
Yes.
Is that supposed to be in Key West, I'm assuming?
Yes. It goes back and forth between Miami and Key West.
Yeah. Right.
So if you want to just get the whole Key West vibe, it's kind of fun too. It's a good show for that. So
I can close then with my favorite, Doral Street, walking down there to do the KQ morning show. We did it down there a few years. And as I'm walking along in a storefront in Key West, I look in, there's a t-shirt and it says, "I'm not gay, but $20 is $20. It's hanging right in the window. And so I called and had him on the show. I said, "Man, that's the greatest thing I've ever seen." It's like, oh, okay. You're not getting your point across at all, are you?
That's pretty funny.
I had a couple of those, as a matter of fact. Now I got to get around this. I got to restructure this on the way out here so nobody, because it's not supposed to be offensive, but that's the way it is. I had a friend complaining to me that he was going to go out with his buddy. And he's a nice Italian boy from New York. He called me from New York a couple of days ago, and he said, yeah, this guy wants to go out with me. You know, he's hanging out. He wants to go to the bars and all the rest of it. And I said, yeah, that sounds good. Except for then he calls me back. He goes, it's okay. I bring my brother. And I said, what do you mean your brother? Your brother's all shy. And he goes, no, he's not shy. He's just kind of reserved, but, you know, he'd have a good time. And Tommy, I got to be honest with you. I don't think this kid is shy. I think he's artistic. Oh, is he artistic? Oh, okay. Whatever you say, pal. Artistic, autistic. What's the difference?
Tomato.
You know, and he was serious, by the way.
That's funny.
He was not trying to be funny. He thought the word was actually artistic.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Might want to pay attention next time there, Pally. All right, get back to work, you bum.
Oh, yeah, I won't be here tomorrow. I think I told you guys that yesterday.
Yeah. Do you ever work?
No.
So who's going to be on tomorrow? Is Hannah going to be on tomorrow with us?
Nobody will be here, I don't think.
Why? Where's Hannah?
I don't know. She's not here right now.
Hannah.
Traffic doesn't wait.
That's right.
It's been a big traffic morning, actually.
Oh, talk to Tevin about
it. Because it rained a little bit. And yeah, did you get caught up in it this morning, Tevin?
Yeah, I was going like 25 down 494 west for a little while.
Bad.
And a massive collision right outside our building here.
Oh, no.
Yes, if you need a live report,
turn on channel 5.
We'll
all right, got to roll.
Thanks, Pally. Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. St. Thomas football hits the road for the first time this season, this Saturday on 1500 ESPN and 1500ESPN.com. Next up for St. Thomas, a battle against Lindenwood in St. Charles, Missouri. Pre-game at 12:30, kickoff at 1 o'clock on 1500 ESPN and at 1500ESPN.com. Going to take a break?
Yeah, let's do that. Why not?
A good plan.
All right.
We'll be right back. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Austin Bartz of Bartz Lawn and Landscape and Bartz Snow Sculptures.
I started banking with North American, I think, 3.5 years ago. All the people know me by name. I know them by name. It's fun to come into the bank and actually talk to somebody you know. So I made the switch and I'm very happy. It's the best bank I've ever been at.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw & Bryant.
When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
You are indeed. Okay, Tevin, you went to North Dakota State, right?
Yep.
Played football at North Dakota State.
Yep.
AJ, where'd you go to college?
St. Cloud State.
St. Cloud State.
The Harvard of the North.
Is that the Huskies?
It is.
I thought so, because that's where Passolt played hockey, you know.
Yeah, they've got. I remember actually they have. I don't know if it's still there, but at one point they had. He did something there that like set a record, but I know they had a banner that had his like name on it at some point hung at the Herb Brooks National Hockey Center.
Biggest pain in the ass.
Yes, yes,
That's what it was.
That's how'd you know?
We got to get Pass on the show again. He passes through town once in a while because he lives in Florida, but he goes up to northern Wisconsin to the family's old cabin. That family's had that cabin for I think 3 generations or something. But I got to get him on the show again. Passolt is just phenomenal. He's one of my best friends in the world, as a matter of fact. Just a good guy. But the reason I asked you, I went to the University of Minnesota for 1 day, so that doesn't really count as a college education, does it?
I mean, it does. I think it counts a little bit. It's at least
count.
some education.
Well, that's
yeah.
true.
I would say maybe more in experience than in education, but I think for the most part, you got your toe in the water, and that's what matters.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run down a list. I have not seen this list yet. It's in the Minnesota Star Tribune. The 10 most expensive colleges in Minnesota.
Ooh.
Now, let's guess. Here's what's going to be, because you guys don't have children or any of that stuff yet.
No.
Let's guess if the 2 colleges my kids went to are on the list of the 10 most expensive colleges in Minnesota.
I'm going to say I guarantee that St. Thomas is number 1.
You think it's number 1?
It's got to be, right?
And where's St. Kate's then?
I don't know, but I feel like St. Thomas is the one that's normally known as you have to be rich to go to St. Thomas.
Maybe like a Gustavus up there too.
A Gustavus, that's probably a good guess.
Would Bethel fall into that? I don't know.
I don't know if it would or not. I have no idea.
I know it's technically a private school college. I guess they kind of all are in the sense, but because you have to pay to attend them. But I feel like it's a little cheaper than the other ones. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm excited for this list.
I still love the fact that it took me like 15 years to realize that our son went to St. Thomas and his father's name is Thomas. And our daughter went to St. Catherine's and her mother's name is Catherine. I never even paid attention to that kind of stuff.
That was that really narrows the options if you're looking for that to fill out like the
right.
the
Exactly. Okay, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 10 most expensive colleges in Minnesota. I don't want to start. I hope they don't start at the top. I hate that when they start at the top. Okay, good. I went all the way to the bottom. We got Minneapolis College of Art and Design. Really?
That's surprising.
That is
MCAD.
Really interesting.
Over $40,000 a year. University of St. Thomas is 9.
Wow, I've been lied to my entire life.
It's on the list though.
Yeah.
So I still put my kids through the most expensive colleges they could find. $40,880. But then when you pay all that other stuff, it's got to be a lot more than that.
Yeah. If you do dorms and like a food plan. And yeah, absolutely.
That's exactly it. Then you got Concordia College in Moorhead, 41.5. Then Hamlin University, 42.7.
Okay.
St. John's University, that's the one up in St. Cloud, isn't it?
Yeah, it's in it's over in like the St. Joe area.
Right, right.
But yes.
St. John's 46.5. Then you got let's see, what do you got next here? College of St. Benedict.
Okay.
That's in St. Cloud. That's in St. Cloud too, isn't it? Or is that in Brainerd?
I don't think it's in the St. Clair area.
I think it might be in Brainerd.
Okay.
One of you guys said Gustavus Adolphus, didn't you?
Yes.
I think, AJ did.
Yep, that's on the list as well.
Frankly, you can't be called Gustavus Adolphus without being that just screams you're going to pay a lot.
Ooh, St. Olaf College almost cracked the $50,000 a year mark.
Ooh.
The one that did crack the $50,000 a year mark is McAllister College.
Yeah.
Holy Hannah.
Where is that one?
That's I think that's in St. Paul.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's right where the St. Clair broiler used to be, right across the street.
I got recruited to go to McAllister, and their big pitch was, well, the football team was terrible, but they're like, you get to like hang out with like future lawyers and whatever.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And then the coach to like try to win us over, he played a pickup basketball game with us and like blew his knee out. And we were like, yeah, we're good.
You're like,
Nobody went to his school. We felt bad.
Unbelievable. Jesus.
What a terrible visit.
It works out in the end, though, doesn't it?
I hope so. I think he's fine now.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, he is fine now.
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm sure that was the last time he's
He never stepped foot in Osceola ever again.
Okay, so we got McAllister at 56-2, and I believe number one, got to get this one right because it's, why is it doing this? Oh, my number one is Carleton College. That's what, just south of this, down by Faribault, isn't it?
Is it?
I think Carleton's down by Faribault. $57,000 a year to go there. St. Kate's did not make the cut.
Yeah.
So Alex didn't spend the big dough, but Andy did.
Yeah. Well, Andy's bougie. He is
bougie.
He's pinky out.
When I think of bougie, I think of Andy. There's no question.
He appreciates the finer things in life.
Yes.
I don't think he could give a rat's ass about the finer things of life.
That's what's so funny about this is that like you could have thrown him at like some repurposed high school and said this is a college course, and he would have said, okay,
yep,
sounds good.
Now this does say tuition and fees. What do they mean by fees? That does not include dorms and stuff, right?
I would assume it does. Like maybe
it does,
includes,
really?
like books, dorms, like you're saying, food, whatever else.
Carleton's in Northfield, by the way.
Yeah, so down that area. Yeah, exactly. What was that again? The Jesse James days in Northfield? Because didn't he rob a bank down there or something?
Is it really?
Oh yeah, Jesse James robbed a bank in Northfield, Minnesota, I believe.
Okay.
Once you look that up, what year was that? Like 1850 or something? Or maybe it was after the Civil War, probably. I don't know. But they used to have Jesse James days. I don't know if they still do.
Yeah, the defeat of Jesse James days in Northfield.
What's the defeat of that?
Yep.
They didn't used to have the defeat in there.
We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
What year was that he robbed the place? And he robbed a train or a bank or some damn thing.
I think it was 1876.
That makes sense.
Northfield Bank raid of 1876.
There you go. Jesse James, famous for that.
Yeah, it was a gang made up of members Cole Younger, Frank James, Jesse James, and Jim Younger.
God,
Bobby,
really?
Well, actually, there's like 10 more guys, so I'm not gonna. I'm
Yeah.
gonna save it.
But they made a movie about it.
They had spent 10 years robbing banks and trains at the end of the Civil War, just going city to city. Thank you very much. Put the money in the bag.
Oh yeah, no question about it. Damn immigrants. Get it? Anyway, moving. I think I'm going to do that from now on. Whenever somebody bitches about something, I'm going to pick the exact opposite of what it should be and go, yeah, those sons of bitches over there at the Catholic Church. Just attack everybody for no reason whatsoever.
It's like when people blame the president for like every little thing. They'll be like, oh, they're out of, paper bags at the grocery store.
Thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
Thanks, Biden.
Yeah, there you go. It's true. No question about it. But so yeah, I am kind of surprised St. Catherine's was not on that list.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they didn't. They're probably like $39,999.
Yeah, missed it by a buck.
Just missed the cut.
Well, then you might be right. They missed it by $1. Yeah. I don't know. It was just that. I tell you what, though, our kids going to college over there because we put them up in a house over there on Warwick Street. I think it was on Warwick, but. Just going over there, there's so many great restaurants over in that area on Grand Avenue and St. Paul is a great place. I think when I was a kid, honestly, people from St. Paul did not come to Minneapolis and people from Minneapolis did not go to St. Paul. And I always wondered, like, why? So I used to go over there all the time just because nobody was ever over there.
Yeah. I feel like I drove through St. Paul just the other day and the streets were like empty. I felt like nobody, and then you come back over to Minneapolis and there's people everywhere. But St. Paul, like restaurants, are very underrated. Like,
they are. Absolutely,
I would say they probably have better restaurants in St. Paul than Minneapolis.
Absolutely, they are. I heard something once on the corner of Selby Dale. Now, Selby Dale is a different area now, but it was kind of like the North Minneapolis of St. Paul. It's supposed to be kind of very comparable neighborhood, so it's all dangerous and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking down the street. And I'm coming up to the corner and there's a guy being questioned by police. You can see they pulled his car over and the cop's talking to him. And the cop says to him as I'm walking by, why were you driving so fast? And the guy, you could see he was faking it. He goes, well, this is Selby Dale. I was terrified to be here. And the cop's like, "Oh, get in your car and go away." Thank God. I'm afraid to be here. Oh, okay, pal. Yeah, would you buy that for 1 minute?
No,
I don't think so.
Like, Jesus, Palomino, you big baby. What the hell is this? Residents of Springfield, Ohio, hunker down and pray for a political firestorm to blow over. Boy, they're still not letting up on Springfield, Ohio, and the eating cats deal, are they?
No, I think Trump is supposed to be going to Springfield.
Oh, is he?
I heard, yeah.
I think he said he's going there. Yeah.
I don't know if he'll actually show up or not, but.
So what was all of this? I mean, why did this turn into such a huge thing? I don't understand. They say it's absolutely not true. So why did it get so huge if it's not true? I don't get it.
Because people will believe anything.
Well,
and then when it's proven not to be true, they go, well, now it's a cover up. And
oh yeah, it's a cover up now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I saw that the initial lady who put the report out, like she lives next to some people that are from Haiti or from Haiti.
Yeah.
Haiti. I mixed like Haitian and Haiti. Yeah. Who are from Haiti and, accused them of it, but found her cat just like in her basement. Like it was just missing for a couple days. Oh my gosh. And then she's like, I had to go apologize. I felt so stupid. But then that whole report and everything, I guess, picked up and has now spread into what we have today, which is crazy.
I have a question for you.
Fire away.
Is it true that in Haiti they do eat animals?
I have no idea about
I don't
that.
either.
Yeah.
And I'm never going to Haiti, so I'm never going to find out.
No.
And I'm really not going to Haiti.
Yeah, that'd be tough to find on a map.
It's going to be a bitch.
Is off my list of vacation destinations.
It's going to be a bitch to get there. But yeah, all of this stuff, why it turns into such a big deal. Whatever. God. When's the last time you heard a politician or somebody on the national news tell truth anyway?
Not very often.
It just doesn't happen anymore, does it?
No. You want to know something that could tell you the truth, though?
Oh.
Have you ever seen a election predicted by Bobbleheads?
I think we did that on the KQ morning show.
You did?
Yeah, literally 40 years ago.
Okay. I know we probably have to take a break here quick, but after that, I have a story about a local baseball team maybe predicting the upcoming election results.
They weren't bobbleheading Twins, were they?
No.
Because that's how we did it. Minnesota Twins bobblehead.
If it's the Twins trying to predict an election, they need to focus on their play on the field first.
No kidding.
Pay attention to that first. Matter of fact, Gelfand was there for all that, so I'll ask him about it on the family show today.
Perfect.
We'll take a break, be right back. And now what are we going to find out? If what?
The Saints did a promotion handing out presidential bobbleheads, and they have statistics from each year. It kind of lines up pretty well with how the country voted, though. So
they stole it from the KQ morning show.
You gave them the idea.
I am disgusted, 100%. We'll be right back right after this. Mike Lindell of MyPillow employees want to thank all our listeners for all your continued support. When Mike started MyPillow, it was just a problem solution, one product company. Well, since then, they now have hundreds of products, some of you may not even know about. For example, the brand new 4-pack dish towel sets, just $25. 6-pack towel sets, just $25. Bed sheets for as low as $25. Check out their overstock and closeout sale and save up to 80% off select items. You're looking for a good night's sleep? Take advantage of the classic collection on a variety of MyPillows for as low as $9.88. These amazing offers won't last long, so order now. Just go to MyPillow.com or call 800-516-5146 and use promo code TOM.
The past several years have been the craziest in the history of the car business. The pandemic, supply chain, and chip issues all causing extreme inventory shortages that led to, predatory pricing. Some dealers charge thousands of dollars over MSRP.
We never played that game. I'm Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC. We knew that would leave a bad taste in a customer's mouth. More importantly, from an integrity standpoint, it was just wrong.
So what about the current market? Inventory and pricing.
Valley has their best inventory in years. Really all the Buick and GMC models. Even the previously hard-to-find Yukons, HD pickups, and Hummer EVs. Plenty of deep discounts. Many with factory rebates and low-interest financing.
Then it's a good time to buy?
It's a great time. We're welcoming our previous customers back, as well as anyone else that felt the treatment just didn't feel right the last time somewhere else.
Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings, or valleycardealers.com. Car buying without the bad aftertaste.
Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Austin Bartz of Bartz Lawn and Landscape and Bartz Snow Sculptures.
I started banking with North American, I think, 3.5 years ago. all the people know me by name. I know them by name. It's fun to come into the bank and actually talk to somebody you know. So I made the switch and I'm very happy. It's the best bank I've ever been at.
So why not bank where I bank? With my friends at North American Banking Company. To learn more about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com. That's nabankco.com, or do what I do and stop by any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what gates of hell are you going to lead us through this time?
So the St. Paul Saints, they make it a election year type of promotion where it's a bobblehead night where they have a limited number of each presidential candidate. And the first 2,000, 4,000, however many fans that walk through the doors can vote in a sense, which candidate is going to take home the presidential election and the just the Minnesota electoral votes and everything like that.
Okay.
So the problem here this year, as I think many people can maybe assume, they had to order these bobbleheads back in April.
Oh, so they got a bunch of Biden ones.
So last night they handed out Donald Trump and Joe Biden, which then had a Harris Walls thing draped over his neck as like a, hey, we're kind of still with it. So they said, look, there was just no way that we could get it updated. It was simply way too late. There's a lot of work that goes into this. But they did release some of the kind of past years. So all the way back 2004, 50.3% of attendees at the game took the John Kerry bobblehead versus the George W. Bush. Obviously, Bush ended up winning that election. In 2008, 58% of people took the Barack Obama over 42% John McCain. Obama won again in the 2012 promotion with a 62% advantage over Romney's 42%. In 2016, Trump edged out Hillary Clinton with 55.3%. They took 2020 off due to COVID and not really having the season and everything like that. Last night, though, Trump came away with the edge over the Biden with the Harris Walls sign draped over him, 52.6% compared to 47.4%. So,
so Trump's going to be president.
So that's what it sounds like.
Shut down the election.
Yeah,
we're good to go.
We don't need to do this anymore. We got 40 days left. We don't need to talk about it anymore. Just hand it based on this bobblehead giveaway night at a AAA baseball team.
Oh, so because what we used to do with the bobbleheads is actually predict. We wouldn't have people pick them. We'd see how many times the head bobbled.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's how we did
That's
it.
definitely a different way to go about it.
Yeah, we went over a totally different way. It was much more inventive, I thought. Yeah,
I agree.
I still, he's on 3 days a week. You see all the bobbleheads behind Judd when he's on the air. Those are all bobbleheads.
Yeah, I did not know he was a collector of bobbleheads until he started coming on the show.
He's somewhat a bobblehead connoisseur.
Yeah.
Is he really? He's got some very special ones.
He's got his own niche stuff. I don't know if it's maybe special to many other people, but I know to him, it's just like anything you collect. Like some people are into stamps. Frankly, I don't care about stamps, but I know some people are going to say this misprint stamp with the rounded edge made in 1983 is the rare. That's cool, and I know you like it, so that's cool.
No, I understand that.
Exactly.
They collect stuff for something to do.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Everybody needs a hobby.
Did you guys hear about this kid that saved his dad from a bear in Wisconsin?
I need to hear about it now, though.
So, 12-year-old and his dad who's 43 in River Falls, Wisconsin, were tracking a bear that was wounded as they were hunting. And they came around to this clearing, and the bear pounced on the dad and started mauling him.
Oh my God.
And the 12-year-old shot and killed the bear as it's eating his dad. And now the dad survived in River Falls, Wisconsin. And afterwards he got interviewed by the Star Tribune, and he goes, I think I'm done bear hunting now. Yeah, I would be too.
What if the kid missed? He was trying to shoot his dad.
Yeah. He's like, I accidentally hit the bear. But yeah,
I accidentally killed the bear.
And the dad's got stitches all over his face. It looks like he was cut up pretty bad. But yeah, saved by his 12-year-old son who almost watched his dad get eaten alive.
I just, honest to God, that every time I hear that, I think of the time up in, what the hell's the name of the place up there again? I can't remember. I'm up in Canada. Going to go play golf. Golf course closed down. Why is the golf course closed down? Because a bear took a guy's head off.
Oh,
just swatted him and took his head right off. Well, the guy walked up to take a picture of him.
Nope.
From me to you.
What the hell are you doing?
Sir, this is not the zoo. There's not any barricades and borders. You are free range and probably the most desired meal on the table.
I just, honest to God, I would, if I saw a bear stand up, first of all, I'd run like a bat. Well, you'd have kind of ease away. You couldn't run either because he'd chase you.
Well, isn't it the thing that it's like you're supposed to like freeze or play dead or something?
Yeah.
Or is that just like a myth that they use in movies and TV shows?
That's what they tell you. Okay. And then I've also heard you don't have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than whoever you're with.
So I'm in trouble.
Right.
Yeah. So if a bear comes in here, I'll just have to outrun you two. Yeah.
I'll
come back with help.
Tom, what's your 40 time?
I don't know. I got to check it out. Let's see, my 40. I can walk it in about, I would say, 30 seconds. So now I don't know. I have no idea what it is, but.
Well, Tevin, how about this? If you better make sure those first couple of steps are quick because I'm going to try to
AJ just takes my knees out.
Just kicking a leg out from underneath you. See you later.
I have a headline and I would like to put your names into it, but I just can't.
Okay.
Inside the Brooklyn federal jail where Sean Diddy Combs is locked up, there has been violence, squalor, and death. Jesus.
Well, I'll say this. That kind of sounds on par for some prisons.
No, it kind of does. That's true. That is true. A second judge has refused to grant bail to Sean Diddy Combs. The hip-hop mogul pleaded not guilty following his Monday arrest on sex trafficking charges, and his lawyer says he's innocent. I don't know how to look at this. Once they showed the video of him kicking a woman in the face as she's laying hurt, he already punched her in the head. She's laying on the ground on the floor, in front of an elevator, and he goes over and starts kicking her in the face. I mean, what is wrong with him?
Yeah, and like he's innocent. Okay, I get you have to defend the guy, but nobody believes that Diddy is innocent.
No, there's plenty of evidence that he's not, right?
Oh yeah, at this point it's just we're essentially waiting for the judge to bang the gavel, and we never hear from him again. The gavel, the little hammer, wooden mallet.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his girlfriend. Anyway, thank you very much. Great to be here.
I don't know what her name is, but sure.
Yeah, they don't want to jump into this story. I'll tell you what, I scrolled down and it says the exact same thing it said before I scrolled down. So they're not tipping you off to what the story is all about. Yeah, well, is he going to go to prison for life?
I think so. I think best case scenario is he maybe throws out some other names and there's a web of, maybe some celebrity sex trafficking ring that he helps bring down. So they cut it from life to 25 years and
could be.
But and the Brooklyn prison that he's in is like notoriously bad, I guess, as that headline was saying, where there's even for U.S. prisons, it's not the one that you would want to go to.
That's what I understand. Yeah, there's no question. Which reminds me, of course, who should go to prison is Kristyn Burtt. Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News is coming up next. When you go to a restaurant, you expect the chef to be an expert. You expect your auto mechanic to be an expert when it comes to fixing your car. You judge them both by the results of their work. Josh Arnold is an expert in investments and planning your financial future. Josh Arnold is my expert, and he should be yours too. I talk to Josh every week, and he understands the market and the economy, and he knows how to plan for your retirement. Don't put it off another day. The man with your plan is Josh Arnold. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll have an expert planning and managing your financial future. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC Security Investment Advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
When you need someone to listen, a lawyer you know and trust.
If you've never been in an auto accident, it's hard to know what to expect from the insurance adjuster. Here are some tips. 1, if they talk to you about whether or not you should hire a lawyer, it's a good sign that you probably should. 2, it's illegal for them to give you any legal advice. They aren't lawyers and they aren't licensed to practice law. 3, if they tell you that everyone involved in the accident is at fault, they're wrong. This comes from the belief that you're at fault for just being on the road. That's nonsense and not supported by any law. Finally, remember that friendly adjusters are often just gaining information. They want you to do most of the talking so they can file their report. I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw & Bryant. I hope you're never injured in a collision. But if you are, don't sign anything until you've talked to us.
Find Bradshaw & Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
I hosted my show on the radio for 40 years. Now I host the Tom Barnard Podcast. And I'll tell you, I've never seen the passion and engagement from our audience as I do now. I know we also have businesses that listen to our podcast, and it got me thinking, wouldn't it be great to help those businesses grow by telling my listeners about them? So here's the deal. If you own or handle marketing for a business, would like to have my audience buy your product or service, visit TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and we'll put together an ad campaign to help your business. That's TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner, and thank you for listening.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC equal housing lender. You still have never met Bilski, have you?
I haven't met you. What are you talking about?
I've been ducking you. That's true. You're right. I was in LA for about a month and no, that's not true. What's up? Well, look at you all make-upped up. Where do you have to go?
I'm nowhere. This is the same makeup I wear every morning.
No, it's not.
It is literally the same lipstick, the same blush.
You do this for us.
I do. So I don't look like an complete troll on camera every morning.
You just almost said, I don't want to look like the three of you. You almost said
that's true.
I said a complete troll.
Well,
if you associate yourself with a troll, that is not on me.
that is a fact. There's no question about it. So what's up?
Oh, well, I just want to add to your conversation. I know you were just talking about Diddy. I know. We are getting already a documentary on the rise and fall of Diddy. Discovery ID is going to be doing it, and it's expected in early 2025, which makes me think they were working on this ever since the federal raid from Homeland Security back in March. So
I bet you're absolutely right about that. They've been working on this whole deal for a while, haven't they?
They certainly have, but it will be coming, and we'll get to hear about this for quite a while. I think this is going to be a big case, and as you guys were just saying, I do think we'll hear other names in the mix, especially if he decides, like, I want a plea deal, I'll give up more names.
Does anybody, did you guys know, residents of Los Angeles, one of his homes is in Los Angeles or Malibu or where the hell ever it is?
He's in Holmby Hills, which is a neighborhood of Beverly Hills. Yep. And it's currently on sale for $61.5 million.
That's what I'm asking for my house. I wish he wouldn't have followed my lead. But what did you guys in the neighborhood think about all this?
Well, I don't live in Holmby Hills.
No, I start there, but neighborhood in LA.
I mean, I think everyone is horrified by it, but I also think that a lot of women who had raised the red flag for years, particularly Aubrey O'Day, who was in the band Danity Kane, came out of his series Making the Band. She's been raising the red flag on Diddy for years, and nobody would listen to her because she's a little wacky. And you know what? People just say the woman's crazy. She's crazy. He has all this power. You don't know what you're talking about. And I will tell you that she's been right more than once about some of the really bad people in Hollywood. We've got to start listening to people because they're not just trying to sink people. They're not just trying to, always cash a check or anything else like that. She was trying to honestly say there's something really wrong with Diddy, and everyone should be looking at him more closely.
Why did it take so long to do it then?
I do think that Me Too changed the power dynamics a little bit, where women do feel more empowered to speak up. I think other women also have each other's back and saying, well, I'll back you up on this because I was there for that moment and I know what he said to you or I know what he did to you. And I think that there's a power in numbers situation. And I think Cassie, which was his ex-girlfriend, finally found her voice. And when she brought forth that lawsuit against him, and even though he's like, deny, and he settled within 24 hours, things just started leaking all of a sudden. The drain all of a sudden spouted 18,000 leaks. And I think that this was the moment that everyone needed for Diddy.
I have a question for you. Didn't any of these young women have an older brother or anything like that? Because I got to be honest with you, if I ever heard something like this, a relative of mine, I could not just sit there and take it. I couldn't.
Some of these women were abused by him for a decade.
Oh, God. They kept coming back.
Well, you got to understand the nature of like abuse. It's you've been now brainwashed, you've been beaten down.
Yeah.
You believe all this stuff about you. If he's telling you you're trash, you start to believe that you are trash. And he was allegedly drugging them to the point that they had no clue what was happening to them in these freak offs. And I say that with air quotes. And I mean, he was bringing in commercial sex workers to sleep with these women. I mean, it's really I've read the 14-page indictment. It is horrific what everyone went through. And remember, he's so powerful too. If you're going to sit there and go to the police, there's probably a cop or two that he could probably pay off to make this go away.
Maybe. Not anymore.
Not anymore. So, you know what? I like you guys were saying, this to me just feels like procedural at this point. There's so much evidence against him. I mean, they've got video, they've got witnesses. I believe they have over 50 witnesses too. Like this is not just like 3 or 4 people. So to me, he's just going to hope that, I don't know. I mean, he's going to be in jail the rest of his life is the way I see it right now.
Are there any really big names going after him?
You know, it's amazing how silent people have been. I mean, have you found that I feel because there's a lot of other guilty parties. That's why I think.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that I'm surprised haven't said anything. And so there's definitely, I think, kind of the feeling of people are being silent because they are trying to just distance themselves as far as possible because they may or may not have been in attendance at a couple of Diddy parties.
I think it's a similar situation to Jeffrey Epstein, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where people are like, are they going to Jeffrey Epstein him in jail?
He killed himself. What do you mean?
As someone who is not a big conspiracy theorist, I don't believe for 1 second that Jeffrey Epstein offed himself. I just don't. There were too many things going on that, I mean, come on, like the cameras weren't working. The jail security was like nowhere to be found. Give me a break.
I have a question for you. Is that kind of attitude? I mean, not maybe the sex part, but the I'm better than you and you mean nothing to me. Is that a big thing in Hollywood? The people, I don't know. I just don't. How do you get to a point where you enjoy abusing other people sexually?
I would say Hollywood thing. I would say it falls into politics. It falls into medicine. People in medicine, that have power, and you just kind of see that power being abused. So any position of power in any industry is subject to abuse.
But I mean, whatever happened to "Hey, I love you"? Whatever happened to that? Is that even around anymore?
Well, I think the Diddy thing is really complicated because there are allegations that he might have been confused about his sexuality. And that brings into play because sometimes people who are struggling with their sexuality act out in ways that maybe are not very healthy for anyone. So.
Yeah, that's another thing I've never understood. Somebody wants to do something, like I said, stay away from the kids and the dogs. I'm good. You do what you do. I mean, not if you're a rapist. That's not what I mean. But, you are this, you're that, or whatever. Why would I care?
I think for him, he cared about his image in the rap community. And I think that was a lot of like, what if he was possibly bisexual? What if he was possibly gay as someone who was one of the figureheads of hip hop culture, especially when it emerged in the 90s? At the time, probably not something that would have been as well accepted. Now, I don't think people would think as much about it, but I still think that there's a stigma there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just there's something that we cannot comprehend. It's just not in our brains to treat people that way.
Right. Well, and I want people to be who they are. If they are straight, gay, bisexual, whatever, I want you to be able to live your life in a healthy way. That's the goal, I think, for everyone.
It is, but I mean, people are getting very mean and harsh about that too. If you don't honor them, it's like, I'm not honoring anyone. Leave me alone. That's the other part of this. They have to go way over the top with it. It's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
I've been in the music business since I was 11 years old, whether it's on, in a band or on the radio, whatever. I've been around 8 billion gay people. Who cares? Good for you. Live your life.
But the music industry, I've got to imagine that you heard things back in the day of just bad behavior, and it could be something as little as like trashing a hotel room, but there's always those whispers of like, do you know what so and so did? I'm sure you heard that when you were working, when you were like knee deep in the music industry.
No question about that. That's the one thing about record company parties, and there really aren't. I mean, record companies, do they even have reps anymore? They
I don't think the way they used to.
Not like they used to. But I mean, every party you went to at these snazzy, fancy hotels, hey, Tom, you want a beer? Yeah, sounds good. Oh, the tub's full of them. So you go in the tub. But of course, you had to walk through a room where people were having sex to get to the tub. It's like,
or the plate of Coke.
Yeah, right.
The mounds of Coke. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did Coke once in my life and it did nothing for me. So I went, this is boring. But yeah, it used to be about having fun. And then all of a sudden I have to overpower you because I don't feel good about myself. It has to be, there's something about him he doesn't like. I would agree with you on that. I don't know if it's sexuality. He's not a very big guy. A lot of smaller guys get very pissed off of being that way. Like I said, one of the toughest guys I ever met in my damn life was like 5'7", weighed maybe 150 pounds. And I don't know who the hell he couldn't have beat the piss out of. So it's got nothing to do with size. It's got to do with heart. But all of this stuff really affects people in ways that they just shouldn't be affected.
Right. Yeah, I do always think that there's some sort of weird self-loathing, self-esteem issues that are so deep-rooted that, but they can manifest themselves in some really evil ways for some people. And that's the situation we're really looking at with Diddy. Even though it's alleged, there's a lot of evidence against him, and not just a year's worth of evidence. We're talking about decades worth of evidence.
Yeah, I lean heavily on Catherine for loathing me. I don't take care of it myself.
You're like, I don't need to do it myself. But yeah, Diddy and the judge here had a really strong stance of why they didn't give him any type of bail situation. Besides being a flight risk, they were also worried about him intimidating the witnesses. So again, there's the power structure again. So because there was plenty of evidence of him intimidating the witnesses since the federal raid back in March. So
I talked to a friend of mine, this Italian boy in New York City. A lot of those people think he ain't ever going to make it out of jail. They're going to end up killing him. That's what he thinks.
I wouldn't doubt that. That's why I feel like it's very similar to the Jeffrey Epstein situation.
Yeah.
Too many A-listers circling this story, and they don't want their names out there. And sure enough, some guy who's at the same jail who's willing to, get into a little fight with Diddy. I mean, right now he's in protected custody, but he's not in a pretty jail. They're like, this jail in Brooklyn is not where you want to be.
That's what I understand.
Yeah.
Ugh. I've never been in jail. I'm very happy that I've never been in jail. I mean, I've been in jails visiting people, but I've never been a guest, I guess is the best way to put it.
I've only visited Alcatraz as a tourist. So that's my only jail.
I want to go to Alcatraz. Did you stand on the island, look and go, there is no way they swam across this bay?
You said you loved it, didn't you?
It is honestly, if you go to San Francisco, whether it's for work or whether you're there for vacation, it is a bucket list item. And I know that sounds crazy, but also get the audio tour. I'm not someone who likes an audio tour. I kind of like to experience it myself, but the audio tour, and someone else had recommended, they're like, listen, you're going to get the audio tour. I'm like, okay, I guess, but it just really takes you through an experience and it's spooky. And they'll be like, walk into the jail cell, and you're like, okay. But it's just so well done. San Francisco does for California, they have a lot of weather, and it's stormy, and it's, the waves are crashing up against the island. And you really do think I don't even know how they would make it from jumping off the rock and swimming those 10 feet to try and get away from the island.
Yep. I think you're absolutely. Did you get to go in Al Capone's cell?
Yeah, you do. That's why the tour is so cool. And then the other half of the island was where families lived and kids went to elementary school. Like the warden's kids lived there. And a lot of them talk in the audio tour too. They're like, it actually was a very happy place to live. So like the juxtaposition, it's so great. So if you go, you have to do the Alcatraz tour. And I think you have to make reservations like a week in advance. So be on top of that because it sells out quickly during the high tourist season.
You guys either read the book or see the movie, The Birdman of Alcatraz?
No.
Nope.
I believe Burt Lancaster played the lead in it. It's a true story about this guy that started collecting birds in Alcatraz prison. It's like, what?
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's called The Birdman of Alcatraz. His
He
movie's got to be
hobby.
6 years old. He needed a hobby. He needed a distraction. That's exactly what it was, too. But yeah, I don't know. The whole thing is just so sad that this is even going on in the world, that you have to abuse people to make yourself feel better.
I mean, the only like good thing is that he's caught.
Yeah,
I guess that's
true,
the
yeah.
only good thing. And it's, it will never probably serve as any type of closure for any of the victims. But hopefully it will be step one on their path to healing. That's the only thing you can hope for.
But once again, it took the power of money to do it. That people, I maybe could make some money by doing this, that, or the other thing. They didn't care. They would never have ratted out P. Diddy because they were making too much money being associated with him.
Yeah, and really until the Cassie hotel video came out, that's really what I think pushed it over the edge, because people were like, oh my gosh, like you can't ignore a video of him chasing her down and kicking her and dragging her back to the hotel room.
In a towel. He went down the hotel hallway in a towel to go and beat her.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was just disgusting. There's no question about it.
No,
Okay, do you have any cheery things to close?
Well, I actually wanted to ask AJ, because I know he's a Survivor fan. Did he watch Survivor 47 last night?
I had to go cheer on my team in our Wiffle Ball City Final playoff game, so I have it recorded. I'm watching it the second I get home. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, but from what I hear, once again, the casting situation might be an issue. I'm seeing a lot of disappointment with the first exits, so I'm not sure whether we have a quitter again or if somebody got hurt and whatever, but I'm not looking forward to the first. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm not finding a lot of joy in how the first person actually leaves the game. I'm not excited to find that out.
Okay. Well, I want to know how it is and whether I should join, because sometimes I join for the season, sometimes I don't, but I'm going to wait for your review.
I'll let you know tomorrow. I'm watching it the second I get home today.
Yes.
Perfect.
A couple of good shows to check out today too. So if you're looking for new shows, Tom, I know you're always on the hunt.
Yep.
And we've talked about this, but the Lyle and Eric Menendez scripted series is now out. Yeah, so it's Monster, and it is Ryan Murphy, of course. And they're going to go into, the whole story of Lyle and Eric Menendez. And they kind of allude to the fact, because this was one of the theories, is that they were being abused by their father.
Right.
And that's why they shot him. And I think, judging from the previews I've seen so far, they kind of lean into that narrative as one of the possible motives for killing.
Didn't one of the boys say that their dad was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
Yes. And I'm so curious. I mean, we've got good actors in this too. Javier Bardem plays Jose Menendez, and Kitty is played by Chloe Sevigny. So I just think that we're going to get some really solid acting in this. Ryan Murphy to me is hit or miss, but I feel like with them, it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah,
that's on Netflix.
God, Netflix is grabbing everything now, aren't they?
They've got a lot of good stuff. I mean, especially where you have Ryan Murphy, he's under contract. He does have a production deal with them. So he's been cranking out the series for them. And then also a very royal scandal. This again, Prince Andrew is never going to live down his Jeffrey Epstein association.
Right.
But this is a series. So when Netflix did a movie earlier this year, and we have Amazon Prime doing the series on it. And this one is starring Michael Sheen, another great actor, and Ruth Wilson, whom I loved in The Affair. So really two really great actors. So that one might give a little bit more perspective than an hour and a half movie, because we've got about 10 episodes to dive into.
I like it. That works for me. We're continuing on with several of your tips already. They are good shows. Got to be honest with you.
There are some good shows. Yeah. So, and it's good. This is the fun time of year when everything's kind of like brand new and shiny, and we kind of sort out through like what's going to get a season 2, what's going to be canceled in 10 episodes or less.
That does happen. I got 9 pounds to go, and now I'm thinking about eating Cocoa Puffs because I brought them up. Damn it.
Cocoa Puffs are good though.
Yeah, there's worse ways. To
She
gain weight.
whispers to me, Cocoa Puffs are good.
I mean, if you just have them as like a little snack, and you know what you do, you put in a protein milk instead, and then it'll fill you up instead of being hungry in 30 minutes.
I think everyone's going to say what I think. When that cocoa starts mixing in with the milk,
yep,
forget about it.
Delicious.
You know what I like? I like Fruity Pebbles. That
They're
is
good
my.
too. Yep.
They're so sugary though. I can't really do it, but
the little Cheerios are good though.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Cinnamon Toast.
oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is delicious.
You better go eat something.
I have my protein drink.
What do you got? What
Start the
kind?
day. It's a vanilla with a splash of it's a vanilla protein drink with a splash of maple syrup.
What is that? 500 calories?
No, literally just a splash. The protein drink is only 120.
Really? That's good for protein.
Fair Life.
Fairlife. Okay.
Yeah,
Because that is
Fairlife
really
vanilla
good for protein. Most of them
They
are
are
like 250.
so delicious.
They are. They're really good. All right. Behave. And then we'll talk to you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Thank you. Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News is brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. That is going to do it for the show today. Family up in about 7 minutes.